And that is the goal this week, okay? Get that invite. Cool.
Excuse me, Chet.
Yeah.
Could I get your autograph?
Sure. What's your name, kid?
Tony.
Tony. Hey, Tony, who's your favorite player?
Spider Mitchell?
Oh, that's some scary talent right there. Spider is a beast.
And it was at that eye-opening moment that I realized, for the entirety of my social media existence, I had been calling him Spadad Mitchell. It was Spider, you idiot. Everything began to make sense. But aside from exposing my lack of mental fortitude, that moment was a game changer for me. Because while I was in college, I'd been on Instagram one day scrolling only to see this baddie I went to school with posing in a picture with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was following her, and immediately, 1,000 Drake lyrics about how a rich guy would take your girl flowed through my head. Yet here I was, not even drafted yet, with a kid whose favorite player was Donovan Mitchell asking for my autograph. So although I hadn't officially made it, deep down I knew that I was going to be that rich guy Drake always talked about stealing other people's girls. I just had a few more trials and tribulations to withstand. See, yeah, no, this was that bullshit. I immediately remembered the scouting report saying I had shooters on my team, but at that moment, I sincerely questioned what they meant by that. Number 33. I didn't know if he was going to be shooting with me or at me, but as I settled into it, my nerves calmed. Besides, Scotty told us he played with shooters, and that ring he showed us, perhaps it was worth playing dodge the AR if it was necessary. In the end, it turned out alright though. We were a mean pick and roll combo, and I just thought of it as Kobe and Shaq, if Shaq were emo and potentially ready to snap at any moment. So we all ended up with what we wanted. My stats looked good, we got the dub, my stats looked good, and now I just had to safely exit the arena. Although we had good chemistry on the court, he really didn't say much, so I made sure to exit the locker room facing backwards. After that game, I figured it was time for a change of pace, because I knew of a place I hadn't been to in quite a while, where you could get some exposure without your teammates posing an immediate threat to your life, although it could very well threaten your sanity. It was called The Neighborhood, and I hadn't been ever since I left for college. Word on the street was they renovated it. It was going to be totally new and fresh. They added a ramen shop, and I was coming on the day they had something called the Ruffles Challenge. As it turned out, the only thing ruffled were my feathers because I'd been lied to. It was the exact same as I'd left it, and the ramen shop wasn't even open yet. As a matter of fact, with the unusually tinted windows, I couldn't even see inside. I had no way of confirming if it would ever open. That was pretty tough to deal with because I had an attachment to ramen being a college student, especially being property of the NCAA with no meal plan, no way to profit off of my name. Wasn't that some shit? People wearing jerseys with my name on them, and I was eating ramen. Sensational, I gotta tell you. What was also sensational was my teammates. They were exactly as I remembered them.
It's wide open. I'm about to pull it. You about to do some selfish shit. Switch. Damn, we all up here trying to get around this motherfucker. Bruh, stop. This nigga dumb. I told you you about to do some selfish shit. I told you. Damn, boy, this nigga, boy. Hey. Oh, stupid ass nigga, man.
I totally agreed. The human in question wasn't very intelligent. So, all in all, it was a decent day. At least I was able to get a lot of cardio in. I was totally in shape and ready to hit the ground running for whatever team was gonna draft me, and I thought it would stay that way as long as I didn't mess with these ruffles that they just happened to be advertising on a basketball court. The thing that I noticed was the nutrition facts on this giant bag that you couldn't miss just so happened to be blurred out, almost as if somebody didn't want the players to know that eating those would be totally counterproductive to the sport they were playing. Anyways, I moved on. I had better things to spend my money on than what would essentially be a bag that was 50% air. Something like throwback jerseys. They were being advertised as a special offer in the neighborhood that week, and I knew I had to get my hands on a Ray Allen jersey even though my shot was more comparable to Westbrook at the time. So I jogged down to the NBA store, all excited and naive. I checked the price tag on the jerseys.
Nothing for you today, man. Thanks.
No problem. See you next time.
So see, what had happened was, I couldn't quite put my finger on what was gonna make me spend my rent money on some jerseys. I had already nearly been killed standing in line for the Jordans on my feet. I figured I should probably start making better life decisions. I suppose the good place to start would be the rec center. There I could really get some burn with teammates that had high basketball IQ. The type that weren't going to chuck a shot every time they got the ball.
Ball up! Let it rain! Let it rain!
I had seen enough for that day. I believe the exact quote on my way out of the neighborhood was, "Alright, I'ma head out." I had some important business to take care of with my agent, and here he was with another client that I decided to size up for absolutely no reason.
I think you're on that French under-18 team that we wrecked at the World Cup.
I contemplated getting him disqualified on the base of age. He was clearly in his mid-30s dominating kids on the come-up, but I decided to play it cool. The agent told us we'd essentially be spending the last month before the draft together, so I figured I'd catch him slipping on something else. Badge glitching was a pretty common tactic around those days, so I'd keep my eyes peeled. Turned out for our training session, we were going back to the neighborhood, and it was surprisingly empty. My best guess was that people were playing the new Call of Duty beta that weekend, and that's when I saw her.
Gentlemen, Stacy Gibraltar. I'm your trainer for the next couple months. Just because you don't scoff doesn't mean you're enlightened.
Straight from an unusually attractive school advisor to an unusually attractive trainer, who I was not about to lay a fucking finger on. I was not trying to get Antonio Browned. She wanted to start our sessions by meditating and watching religious videos, and I saw a trap. Nevertheless, we kept it professional, and by the end of that first workout, I was sincerely questioning what I was here for. This wasn't the part of the NBA life that I wanted. This wasn't what was advertised. If this was how I was gonna keep a roster spot, when would I have time for the IG thought-filled boat parties that Blake Griffin and Klay Thompson always showed off? When was I gonna have time to lay pipe before games like J.R. Smith? How much park rep would I need to unlock a Kardashian? No. I was never going that far. I actually liked my basketball career. Speaking of which, my agent was doing God's work trying to build up on the brand side. Life is crazy. One day you're dodging a false sexual assault charge. The next day, you're sitting face to face with Maverick Carter. How did this even happen? There was no assurance I was even going to be drafted yet, but I wasn't going to say a damn thing. If the NBA store was going to be charging car note prices for jerseys, I was going to take all the deals I could get. Plus, I felt like I already knew how to negotiate with Maverick Carter because I'd seen him on LeBron's TV show so many times. Basically what you would do is you would start talking. You'd get right in the thick of this really good idea and just wait for him to cut you off. It was a small price to pay for a Ray Allen jersey. That led to my first real opportunity through basketball. A business pitch from the man himself, Karl Anthony Towns. I wanted to see if his business acumen was stronger than his will to back down DeMarcus Cousins.
Listen, I could give you the whole spiel about Gatorade's lab, tech, products, and history, but let's be real. What have you been drinking at every single camp, at every game, at every park since you could dribble the rock?
Water. The answer was water. However, if they were going to toss me a bag to tell these kids that I'd been drinking a 20 ounce that contained 34 grams of sugar to stay hydrated during basketball, well, fuck them kids. On the next episode of my career, I star in the single most awkward game of pickup basketball ever, featuring Westbrook and Paul George on the same team. My unusually attractive trainer continues to make herself harder and harder to resist, and I participate in the most confusing bench press activity known to mankind. Meanwhile, Mike Wang oversees while he contemplates how to fix 2K20, at the same time that Ronnie 2K splurges on expensive luxury cars in Abu Dhabi with the VC money he got from lying to the 2K community. Bye bye.
That emotional shit, go on. What emotional? Why you just sitting like it? Go on. Bye.
What are you
Bye, baby.
About?
Bye. Go on. Before you start.
What did I do? I just asked a question.
Okay. You don't understand how you do. So I'm a boy then. I don't want to talk about it.